This is Doreen from Holistic Wellness from Thin, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how to do a little investigation and learn how to really dig into labels and find out what's important to you when you're looking at certain products or foods that you might want to be purchasing. So I don't buy a lot of processed things, but the things that I really like, and I do like coffee, so I'm actually going to start with that because I'm going to teach you what to look for that's not maybe right on the front of your normal coffee package when you're going to the store. So you walk into a store, your typical Trader Joe's or whatever store you're at, your health food store, or even just a typical grocery store, and you just buy an organic coffee and you think, wow, that's great. Well, organic coffee does not mean that it's been tested for mold, which is super important because out of all the crops that are out there, coffee is the most heavily sprayed crop, and it is the most contaminated with mold than any other crop. So you want to make sure that you're getting mold-free coffee. But if you're not reading these labels, if you're not looking for that, you're not going to find that most of your organic coffee is also mold-free. So I'm just going to show you what I found as I began to do a little bit of investigation. I like this coffee right here called Life Boost. And you can see the things that they talk about. And some of these are important, some of them I don't care as much about. But I definitely care about the fact right here that it is third-party tested and that it is free, tested to make sure it's free of mycotoxins and also pesticides. This coffee is mold-free. It is also something that's very important to me right here, low acid. Low acid coffee is important to me because I do tend to react if I have coffee day after day with acid in it. Now, I tend to have also cut out my caffeine, so I've been mixing my coffee so that is half calf. That means I use half decaf, half regular coffee. But you don't have to do that. I'm just saying that's what I do, and I use low acid coffee, mold-free coffee, and to the point now where I even just take it with me if I'm traveling because I really want the coffee, I don't want stuff that's going to make me feel bad. And I definitely don't want molds in my body. I already suffer as far as from reactions that I have when I'm detoxing, almost always through my skin. So it's very important to me to make sure that I am addressing, keeping molds and other toxins such as that out of my body. So the other thing that I like that I'm going to look at right here with you is this Life Boost coffee. This one that we're looking at right here is a mushroom coffee. I like the mushroom coffees. I actually use more than one of them, but just looking at this one, you can see that it has actually two mushrooms in it. It's made with two mushrooms, lion's mane and chaga mushrooms. You can also see that it is low acid. It is also organic. It is also tested for mold. So again, it does meet my criteria. Now, there's other coffee, another coffee in particular that I really like, a little better even than this, and I'm going to explain why right here. So I'm going to go to Paleo Valley coffee. Now, the Paleo Valley coffee that we're looking at right here has a lot of benefits. You can see it's polyphenol dense. It is also, I can get organic and it is decaf. I think you can get Life Boost and decaf too. But I use this quite a bit, and it has 8 functional mushrooms in it. So quite a few more mushrooms in it. There is a page on their website that tells you about each of the mushrooms that are used in it. So that is really nice as well. You can see over here that it is tested for mycotoxins and mold as well. I even looked at a lot of those test results. So I really got picky about this stuff. So that's one space right there that I wanted to show you. And one more little follow-up on that. So let me get off this page and jump over to here. You can see again, the Paleo website's really nice, Paleo Valley, because they do have, for all their products, they have this summary page. So again, you can see the certification that's organic and the polyphenols and antioxidants, low acid, which again, I mentioned was really important, small batch, single origin, all these things. Of course, it's gluten-free. So that makes that another available source of coffee for me. Now, Bulletproof was the original coffee, I think, that really made the big stink about testing for mold. And their coffee is still probably acceptable, but I do like, I think, these two brands better. Now, let's move on to a different product. I talked about the Prima protein bars, but now I want to show you that Paleo Valley also has a protein bar. Their overview on their protein bar looks like this. So you can see it's made with certified organic antioxidants, cold pressed. It's made with bone broth protein. It's free of soy, GMOs, no added sugars or sugar alcohols, all these things that are really important. No cereal grasses. I mean, it does look to be a pretty good superfood bar. Now, I'm not one that eats a lot of these things, so I'm going to tell you I haven't tried these. And I'm going to share another little bit of information about them in a minute. It's just my opinion, but I will also like to share the label with you because you want to look at the labels, right? We're talking about learning to read labels. Now down here, this label is pretty intense. This is for the dark chocolate chip. There's different flavors, but this is for the dark chocolate chip. So it's pretty intense. There's a lot of things in it. However, when I read through here, I can read all of those ingredients. I'm not looking at them. They're not, I'm not trying to figure out how to pronounce them. They're not chemicals. So I'm pretty much okay with that, going through that list of ingredients. However, I would say, just for me anyway, that I probably prefer the Prima that I had talked about the other day because it is, and I'm gonna see if I can find this for you. I wasn't really planning on showing this, but I'm going to. It has just way less ingredients in it. It just seems a little more natural to me. So I probably would prefer this uh, Prima bar. This one I think was the cacao. There are 3 different flavors. So I am actually thinking about trying that. Now, again, I really don't eat these things. I'm thinking about trying it just so that I can review it, first of all, but also I do occasionally when I'm traveling, I will have something like that on hand. So I'm not saying I would be completely against it, but typically if I'm at home, I'm cooking real food and this isn't really an issue. But anyway, that would be my take on that. So I probably would prefer the Prima bar, but the super food bar from Paleo Valley would be okay as well. And then we're going to jump over to something else that I get asked about a lot and I barely ever recommend. So we're going to look at this bone broth protein. Actually, we're looking at protein, but it is made from bone broth. So again, this Paleo Valley website's really cool because it summarizes everything for you, as you can see right here. It's 100% grass-fed, and you can see all the good things about it. So I look at that and I think, okay, that looks great. Now, don't forget, I'm always going to be looking at the label. So, and I'll tell you something funny when I do get to that part of looking at the label, but I'm going to also show you another quick page of where you can see everything summarized. Grass-fed, 100% grass-fed bone broth and grass finished, which is really important, right? And you can see they're slow simmered, as much collagen as possible. They're use filtered water, no chemicals or solvents. And over here, just again, testing for pesticides. So if I was going to use protein powder, this would be a protein powder I would use. Again, my preference is to eat real protein just from the animal itself, but real animal protein. But if you're using these or you really want protein shakes, this would be a brand that would be acceptable. So just keep in mind, I watched a whole documentary on, or it wasn't a documentary, I'm sorry. It was a little news clip on the pesticides and toxins found in protein powders. And I've been suspecting that for a long time because I saw a trend happening when I would test people. I'm very observant when I look at tests and I see a thread running between people using protein powders. They were all very high, had a lot of toxins in their body. So that's what led me to think that to begin with. Years later, I actually saw this little clip that I'm talking about. It just confirmed what I already knew just from observing what I had seen. Now, here on their nutrition label that we see that's up here, and I was really skeptical of this at first because I did clip this picture of the chocolate one because it was showing the unflavored ones. There's no ingredients in it. It's just really short. And I'm like, okay, no, no, no. I want to see what's in a chocolate protein powder. Now, I find it really funny. It's just all so weird to think that you're eating bone broth, and it's flavored like chocolate, vanilla, or caramel. But okay, I guess. I mean, I'm sure it is because a lot of people do it. But again, I'm looking at this list right here, and this is not things that I cannot pronounce. It is stuff that I can pronounce. Now I know that I'm okay with the ingredients. I've looked at how they make it. I know it's tested for pesticides and toxins. So yeah, that would be an okay. I'm an okay with that. So I just thought I would share this information with you because so many times when we pick up something, we look at a label, you're not even going to think to dig around to see if it has pesticides in it. Now, the one thing that I'll get into on a different video is glyphosate, because you're not going to see if glyphosate is in almost anything, because unfortunately in this country, we do not have to label our items and food and tell people that there is glyphosate in it. I'm already investigating a company that has some granola out there that is actually pretty good granola, but I've already contacted them and asked them, can you tell me there's no glyphosate in this product? So I'll be back. I keep, digging into these things to help you, also to help myself as I'm learning more, but I hope this helps you find protein powder, maybe some of those protein bars that you might want to use, and even a good source of coffee if you are a coffee drinker. So I hope that was useful for you. If you have any comments about any of this information below or any product you would like me to look into, please let me know. I'm always here to help. Thanks for listening from Holistic Wellness from Within.